How about some good news for consumers who might have been looking to build or upgrade a PC? Want to talk about that?
Yeah.
DDR5 pricing in China faces, this is a quote from, I think it's WCCF Tech said this, faces a complete collapse with shifting markets.
Let's go.
This has mainly seemed to have been triggered by the release of Google's Turbo Quant.
Really?
The timing doesn't look like a coincidence. However, I actually recorded a whole LTT video yesterday that was just like it was kind of a spur of the moment. I have some thoughts on this where I look at sort of a longer term trend that we can trace back to like all the way back to about mid to 3/4 of the way through last year of the bubble kind of already starting to unravel. To mix my metaphors up a little bit, I think that Turbo Quant, kind of like when DeepSeek landed, is just it's really headline grabbing, and it's taken the fears that are already in the backs of memory of memory suppliers' minds about like whether this whole thing is actually really going to just go to the moon forever, Artemis style. And it has taken that fear and brought it to the front of the mind and turned it into panic a little bit.
I thought, and like, I don't know, but I thought it was the Sam Altman comments, them not following through on their RAM purchases.
Well, they happened right around the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like
definitely a combo.
It's definitely a combo. Taiwan outlet UDN reports that RAM prices in China have dropped more than 30%, and there are even some signs that prices are dropping in the US as well. As part of the video that I was working on yesterday, here we go. Okay, look, is it back to normal yet? No, but guys, don't bite a progress gift horse in the mouth, okay?
I do worry a little bit that it's going to be kind of like the GPU situation where the price went up and then they were just like, eh.
Well, here's the thing, though.
I think people are actually just not buying stuff right now.
GPUs are effectively a monopoly. NVIDIA just decides how much a certain amount of FPS costs, and then AMD and to a lesser extent Intel. I actually really respect what Intel has done and how scrappy they've been trying to make Arc Battle Mage appealing and make it make sense for gamers at a reasonable budget. But AMD certainly basically just goes, oh yes, NVIDIA, thank you for determining what GPUs are worth in the market. Yes, sir. And they just kind of price their GPUs in lockstep with NVIDIA. Whereas RAM has actual competition to a degree. Have there been some price fixing scandals over the years? Yes. But at the end of the day, are all of the major players building out large fabs with huge capacity that have to run and therefore are commodified effectively, meaning that if demand drops, pricing will drop? Also, yes. RAM is a commodity still. There is competition still. And so in the exact same way that we've seen it spike before, I think we will absolutely see it crash again. Yep. There's no question whatsoever.
That's good to hear.
And as part of the video yesterday, I was also looking at a couple of other regions. I looked at Canada. Canada actually started dipping a little bit before the States. Germany has started dipping as well. So I didn't look too far beyond that because I kind of went, okay, well, China, Germany, Canada, US, that gets me around the world.
Yeah.
Clearly, this isn't just one retailer running a promo at that point.
Yeah.
None of this means that the shortage is over. None of this means that pricing is going to immediately go back to where it was.
There has objectively been an uptick in data center spending on hardware that will impact pricing to a certain degree.
Yep. And the AI build out is not going to stop.
Yeah.
But one of the things I get into in the video is how I think that it won't necessarily just continue to flywheel completely out of control, because it seems like the bean counters are finally kind of going, hold on a second, how many beans are left? Can we really afford to trade all of our beans for computer memory? And I, for one, am extremely excited for 5 years from now, when all of these data centers are out of date and make absolutely no sense to keep running with energy pricing being what it is, and I can get like a couple cool AI cards and put them in like Smash Champs for like cool computer vision.
Yeah, some of those AI cards are weird.
Yeah, but I mean, they should do AI, right?
I don't know if they're going to slot into your desktop computer, though.
It doesn't need to be a desktop computer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, look, they're going to be dismantling these things. Who's going to take them?
Yeah, that'll be really interesting.
Like, man, that's another video I want to make.
What is the format of those GPUs that are like a tower? What is that called?
Oh, for crying out loud. I forget what it's called. We saw it on the recent NVIDIA data center tour.
Yeah.
Someone tell me what they're called. SM something. SXM.
SXM, yeah. Those cards, like...
But here's the thing.
I don't know, dude.
Okay, so did I talk on WAN Show already? I can never tell the difference between when I talked about something on WAN Show and when I did a video scrum and laid out an outline for a topic.
Sure.
So stop me if I've talked about this before, but
really?
A major tragedy right now is the way that data center hardware no longer trickles down to consumers how it used to. Like, remember how buying a couple generation old Xeon was like the hack to getting a sick gaming desktop? What am I looking at here? Was this an adapter? Okay, yeah, so that's a thing.
All right, I'm a little more excited about the future now. That's sick.
I did. Okay, did I talk about this already? Okay, I talked about this already. But one of the things that will happen, because it has to go somewhere, like these giant, just money is no object data centers full of tens and tens and tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of GPUs. Like, it's not like they're just going to, grind them up to make their bread. Like, they're going to do something with them. And so
grind them up to make their bread.
I think Home Lab is going to have an absolute like revolution in 5 years.
Dude, an SXM to PCIe adapted data center card in my house sounds freaking sweet.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Why only one?
And the RAM.
Yeah. That sounds like fun tinker. Oh, well, the space might
the
be
RAM will be
difficult.
salvageable. The RAM will be salvageable.
Riser card?
I bet you could liquid cool it so you don't have to deal with the noise. Because these things are like up to like 800 or even more watts or whatever.
They're
Crazy,
insane.
dude.
Yeah, they're crazy. Mr. Omut says Wendell's gonna buy it all. I don't know, man. Wendell's pretty. He likes to be on the cutting edge. I think he might just have the newer stuff at that point. Mineral oil cooling would be super cool, John BR. But yeah, I'm.
It's a lot of wattage to mineral cool. It's
I'm excited.
doable, but
I'm super excited, and I think it's happening.
Yeah. Well, I think we're starting to.
I'm really glad because I've taken kind of this is temporary stance on this, and I've kind of taken some flack for that.
Because, I thought it was going to take longer than this.
Why aren't you advocating for consumers more? Why don't you see Micron pulling out of the consumer market as like this terrible, terrible, terrible thing? And I guess it's just because I've been through so many cycles. Like RAM is like this, man. It's always up and down and up and down. And this time it was like a big cycle. Like this was, and it really, it happened really suddenly. Maybe that's, it was a really awful timing, like right in the holiday season, man. Like there were so many things about it that just sucked.
Yeah. At the same time though, like, I don't know. I do think it's a signal. I am very hopeful, all that kind of stuff. But like, if we look at, people have been talking about Micron's stock price.
Yeah.
But if we look at Micron, their 1 year,
yeah,
392%, year to date, 16%, 6 months, 94%.
But Tulip Mania happened over a span of half a decade, though.
Over the last month, they're only 3.5% down.
These things, okay, but remember, once tulips started to fall.
No, I hear you.
Like here. This screenshot is actually.
I just don't. I'm not 100% convinced it's happening right now.
This screenshot is in the video.
Yeah.
Tulip bulbs, $16.99 Canadian. Once they started to crash, once the house of cards starts to collapse, it can happen really fast. Apparently, this didn't make it into the video because I just read it last night. But just because a company is not a public company doesn't mean that shares can't be traded. And apparently, this is scuttlebutt, but apparently OpenAI shares are becoming quite illiquid, quite difficult to sell. And one of the things that I kind of lay out is that I see OpenAI as a very Dropbox-like character in this new version of the same movie we've watched over and over and over again. Dropbox was a first mover and a huge name in cloud storage in the early days of the cloud. Back when that was the stupid keyword du jour that you couldn't see a slideshow without having it plastered all over everything, right?
Yeah.
And what they did was the classic Silicon Valley playbook. They got a bunch of money. They used it to acquire an enormous user base. And they focused on, one admittedly super cool and innovative thing. And then they tried to convert that user base to a paid user base. It didn't go too great. And then the incumbents, the big players, ultimately ate their lunch. And I mean, show of hands, who has the Dropbox app installed on their computer or phone? Anyone?
I think your hand can be up because we use it for like scripts or something, right?
Bueller? Not anymore.
Oh.
Okay. Dan apparently has you still use Dropbox.
I do.
What do you like about it?
I used to use it more before I had the NAS.
Got him. All right.
The internal sync was great. I don't know. It's just good.
Yeah, quality product.
It's just fine.
Nothing wrong with it?
Nope.
But there's also no question
that... Do you
that
pay for it?
Yeah.
Apple and Google and Microsoft have overall won that war. And so I see OpenAI as being in a very similar kind of position where they were a first mover, a very early mover, a big innovator, great brand presence, huge user base. But are they really going to take that and go from losing billions and billions of dollars a quarter to making billions and billions of dollars a quarter? Really?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be Google?
Oh, Dropbox is not that cheap.
No, well, because it isn't, right? It never was. It was always, the whole thing was always fake. It was always VC money subsidizing you to have it for cheap so that you could get locked in later. It's whether it's Dropbox or Uber or frickin' Adobe. Well, actually, no, in that case, it was just Adobe's giant boatloads of money from selling expensive software that they converted into even gianter boatloads of money from selling subscriptions. That was a different model. Slightly different. Yeah. Discord is another example from Pankrats in the chat. So because of all of these, this really does, the video does, I admit, have a little bit of like string on a bulletin board energy. But I'm just seeing a lot of signals. And there are signals the other way. Like Nvidia's only down a little.
Yeah.
Google's only down a little, right? And I point out these things. Like there are ones that their stock prices is not impacted in any way.
Nvidia's, I guess they're down. Okay.
Yeah. Relatively little.
Not the last 5 days, but over the last 6 months, 1 month, yes.
Compared to like Oracle, and then there was another one that I was using as kind of like a proxy for AI companies as well. But the difference is that the companies that are only down a little have real revenue.
Yeah.
And like real businesses other than just like raw AI. What if you put AI in your video so that you could make video with AI? And what if you did AI in your butt and then your butt could be intelligent? Like just everything's AI. Just put every AI in everything. Like it's like Nvidia has an identity other than AI, and so does a company like Alphabet.
I feel like I need a South Park episode on butt AI.
I mean, do you know for sure they haven't done one?
No.
I didn't watch the entire last season. It's possible. It just seemed like the sort of thing they might do.
Yeah.
We go all the way back to season 1, episode 1, and the aliens just put AI in his butt instead of a big satellite dish.